You know, it's a hidden tax that you're paying every single week. And no, it's not from your bank statement. It's in your portfolio. Do you know who really won in the stock market this week? It's like the 1980s all over again. And that company is Intel. But also, you have your ups and your downs. Do you know who took the biggest hit for the week? Lennar. How is that possible? I thought with interest rates going down, home builders would make more money. Not so fast, my friends. And you know it's a sneaky hidden stock that might allow you to achieve generational wealth? Well, they say space is the next frontier, and Howmet Aerospace might be the stock that's going to be the bag of all bags when it comes to your pocketbook. Before we get started, as always though, like, subscribe, and share to our channel. In real life, I'm a certified financial planner. We're blessed to help thousands of people worldwide, but on these social media airwaves, we're just giving information. This information today is going to allow you to grow your finances, reduce your tax liability, and most importantly, grow your net worth. You ready for this game? The 3 stocks of the week. Lego.
And you just wanna get paid, tired of making no money mistakes. Make a payment on your bills and you still late, yeah. Paying for profits to help you seek change, and you just wanna get paid, yeah. Tired of making no money mistakes. Make a payment on your bills and you still late, paying for profits to help you seek change, yeah. Cut the show and just listen. You wanna feel empowered by making money decisions. Residual by the hours.
Now, it's this chip company that we all love. That's the stock of the decade, and that is NVIDIA. And NVIDIA was like, you know what? It's this company that was the chip of all chips. They could have bought us years ago. They did not. We're going to reverse engineer, do things all over. And what did they do? They bought Intel. And Intel, because of it, literally went up this week by 23%. The best week since 1980. I repeat, they have not had a 23% week since the 80s. They're an 80s baby. And they have been going down dramatically. But Intel has just rescued them. Put them off of life support back into the 21st century. And how did they do that? They basically gave them $5 billion, which means now they own 4% of that company. And the thought process is over time, they're going to invest more and more and more. Because Intel is a legacy company. A lot of large institutions that's been there, done that, they still rely on Intel because Intel was the first to the chips. They was a chip company that was supposed to be like NVIDIA today, but they dropped the bag. So isn't it pretty cool that NVIDIA, the Netflix to Blockbuster, turns around and buys Intel? I think this is huge for Intel because all the relationships that they have that NVIDIA can't quite get a hold of is going to help them out like crazy. And this also ramps up Intel's biggest chip, their 14K node. It is supposed to be 3 times as powerful as NVIDIA's largest chip. Now, that's bold. And it's supposed to be out in 2028, but with this now buy or merger, whatever you want to call it, now they're saying that this will be done in 2027, which they estimated is going to give them $4 billion extra worth in sales. That's funny. You buy a company for $5 billion, you're going to make $4 billion in 2027 alone. I think for NVIDIA, that is a great buy. But we're talking about Intel, and I think Intel is going to continue to go up dramatically because of this. Now still, Intel has some issues. They have not been able to close business because they're losing it to AMD, Supermicro Computers, NVIDIA, and TSM. So they're not out the woods yet. And it's going to be time as people sit on the sidelines to see is Intel back or if it's got an infusion that won't go anywhere. So should you go YOLO? Of course not. We always recommend no more than 5% of your money in one stock, but Intel might be something that you want to take advantage of. Now, it's still a buying opportunity compared to 5 years ago. In 2021, their stock was literally as high as $64 a share, and now it's under $30. It's still down by 50% compared to where they were 5 years ago. That's crazy because for the year, they're up by 46%. $100,000 in Intel January 1st gets you $146,000 today. That also means $100,000 5 years ago gets you $47,000 today. So Intel getting back to where it was is a 100% gain from here. If NVIDIA works the magic like they did with their own company, it's very likely this is going to happen. So is Intel a buy? I'm only giving information, not recommendations, but it is the stock of the week. Now we have Intel, but then we have not so much when it comes to growth, and that is Lennar. How is that possible? When the Fed lowers rates, which they did, that means all these building companies are going to have more contracts, more builders. And since the market looks ahead 6 to 18 months, should Lennar has went up? Not so fast, my friends. It went down. One of the worst performing stocks of the week, Lennar, symbol LEN. And it's like, how is that possible? They beat revenue expectations. They were supposed to last year make $8.1 billion with the B. They made $8.3 billion. That should be a good thing. However, we have what we call profit margin. So what is profit margin? Profit margin is the amount of money that you make after profits, right? We have a profit margin of 50% or $50. That means for every $100 we spend, we make $150. That's a 50% profit margin. Their profit margin went down, meaning that they're making money, but it costs them more money to make the same amount of money now. That's, my friends, is unsustainable growth. That is a slowdown in growth. It's like when I go to the grocery store. I got $100. I save money to the tune of $10. But next time I go to the grocery store with that same $100, I save money to the tune of $5. So it costs more money to do the same things. That is happening right now with Lennar. Is this because of immigration? We don't know. Is this because ICE running it up, arresting people? I don't know. But typically, when labor costs go up, then our expenses go up, our profit margin goes down. So even though they beat their profit margin, going from 8.1 billion estimated to 8.3, it takes them more money to make the same amount of money. That was a triple entendre for all my rappers out there. So what are they to do? And this is a buying opportunity. Me personally, because again, we're giving information, not recommendations, and past performance does not guarantee future results. But with interest rates going down, I believe this may be a buying opportunity. Yes, it went down by 7%, but if it gets back to where it was, that is a 9% gain. Will we continue to have deportation? Maybe, maybe not. Will ICE continue to round up individuals? Maybe, maybe not. But I'm pretty sure Lennar is going to find a way to decrease their expenses. When they decrease their expenses and their profit margin goes up, what's going to happen to the stock? It's going to go up. When announcements are made 1, 2, 3 months from now that year over year, quarter after quarter, they're getting more individuals closing on their houses, is the stock going to go up or go down? It's going to go up. It being down by 7% hurts for the people who have that stock today, but it helps people who buy it today because you're able to buy it at a discount, and I believe it will get back to where it was. The question is, when? And it still has some climbing. This year it's down by 5% when the S&P 500 is up by 13%. For the past year, it's down by 30% when the S&P is up by 22%. So it's underperforming like crazy. But again, interest rates was a big part of that. The uncertainty of ICE and what's going on was a big part of that. Now we have some clues of interest rates because they're going down. 3-year low in mortgage rates per JP Morgan. More people buy, more people get into a house. Lennar builds more. I think it's a buying opportunity. And yes, the past year is down by 30%, but if it makes that back over the next year, that's a 45% return. I'll take that. And now the opportunity of the week, Howmet Aerospace Yes, they made 2% this week. So, okay, what's 2%? They beat the market. But for the year, my friends, up by 71%. What? Yes, for the year, up by 71%. 6 times better than the S&P 500. What is Howmet Aerospace anyways? Well, it's all about defense. They are a defense contracting company, but they're not defense like on the ground. They're defense like space. Being able to compete in an environment where CEOs like Elon Musk, the president of Space Force, looking at space as a way to control the planet. Satellites, being able to spy on individuals. That is the cybersecurity of the 22nd century. So if we have companies that are building infrastructure today to take advantage of the technology, they're going to continue to go up. Yes, Howmet Aerospace is up by 71% today. How much more could it go up? In my opinion, a lot more. Getting government contracts does not hurt either. You see, we did a lot of cutting in the big, beautiful bill. We did a lot of spending as well. A lot of spending went to military, defense. That doesn't stop. That won't stop. You can drain the swamp in D.C., but you're going to flood the military complex. And Howmet Aerospace is a big part of the military complex of the future. And they beat their revenue expectation. They expected that they would have 1.8 billion. They made 2.1 billion. Their profit margin, unlike Lennar that's going down, is going up, which means they're using technology and AI to make more money while spending less money during the process. That's a great combination to have. Making money, spending less money to make more money and more money and more money. That's why Howmet Aerospace is an opportunity of the week. So, you guys got your margin orders, so what are you going to do? Are you going to be on the sidelines? The market's up 13% this year, doing better than the average. The market average is 9%. It's up by 13. If it doesn't go up anymore, you made more money. My clients, our growth portfolios up by 40%. Our moderate portfolios, 33%. And our conservative portfolios, 23%. Doubling the stock market. Oh! Woof! Woof! Times is good in Tone's Financial, you guys. But we want you to like, subscribe, and share it to our channel as we continue to give you information that's going to decrease your tax liability while increasing your net worth. Love is love. Be blessed. Stay positive. Let's make some painful or painless profits together, y'all. Peace!